Hey, this is Nick from Remedy667.com, and today I figured out how to record some iPad stuff. So you're going to be seeing the top of my head a lot, and probably me blocking my screen a lot. So basically, what we got going on here is this is essentially version 1 of the font, and then this is Eyeball Soup. So this is my original alternate 1, and then right now I'm building out alternate 2. And I'm using my original layer for that. And as you can see, the way that I do this is I just kind of like look at my originals and I'm just drawing different drips. That's all I'm going to do. I was only going to do one set of alternates for this, and then I got my head spinning. Started looking at other fonts and was like, wow, I want this to be better. So basically, you know, it's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna turn this off because I can't concentrate. But so just changing like little bits here and there, and that's kind of how this works in the beginning. I would like a drip right there. And not to have that drip there. Well, actually, let's... So that's some interesting funness there. This is kind of fun. It reminds me of like an old 90s monster toy. Just the like weird snotty drips of this font. This one is, I don't know, I think I said it before, but this one's Eyeball Soup. So... and we're going to draw some drips inside the O also. So that's cool. This V, going to smooth that out there. But a little drippy. On the other end. I don't like this crossover one that I did where they like cross over each other. But you know what? You live and learn. No, other people might be into it though. So it's gonna stay. Got a nice rainy day, which is always good for drawing. Nice rainy fall day. getting weird. I'm telling you. I should probably zoom back in a little bit. When I zoom out, I get a little too loose and they get a little jagged. But you'll see me do stuff like that quite a bit. That one we got off to a interesting start. Oh, this is the zeros. So we've gone through the alphabet. Now we're at letters. I mean numbers. I used to have so much trouble with numbers. Not like knowing... Damn it. Not like knowing my numbers or anything, but drawing them. They just always seemed so complicated, going from like an alphabet into a number set and trying to figure out like, oh, what numbers, what components of the letters am I going to use to do the numbers? And I would always like blame it on like, oh, well, it's because, you know, numbers are based on a different alphabet than the Roman alphabet, you know? So the shapes are different, and that's why they're so hard. And then, I don't know. I think what I really just needed to do was shut up and practice more. Which I did end up doing, but not after years of complaining. I want this one to be like, yeah. Love it. Yeah, so this is fun, huh? Ooh. I don't want that to go as low. Two big drips there. I can't even like... What it was that inspired me to do the third one was I was looking at title cards for other fonts, which is fun and also makes you lose your mind when, you know, you do something like this because you're like, oh my God, everybody's doing wild stuff. But so now I'm going to select that main layer, which is gray, I guess, and I don't use Procreate enough. Selection tool, and we're just going to select all the white, and there's probably a way to do this without me having to touch every single spot that's got it connected that needs filled. And you know what, if you know how to do that, tell me in the comments, and if I read the comment, I will learn how to do it that way. And then hit invert, which I also always forget to do. Now I'm going to hide that layer and go into this new layer that I just created. Change brush. We're going to use the Drunken Sailor for this, just because I got this kicked up a notch. And then I just kind of go in and close off the areas. So that the letter, it's still not complete. That's the next step. But, oh, this one's tricky. But it's like covered now, if that makes sense, for lack of a better word. And this is also like a way of bringing in that component style, because what I'm tracing, I guess, right here would bring in the components of the font that are already there. And the fact that I'm using the Drunken Sailor brush is fun, because if you see this brush, it kind of like, you'll draw a line and then it kind of like jumps back, which is cool, because sometimes you do that and you miss little spots, and who gives a shit, you know? It'll all come out in the wash. As long as everything kind of connects on the edges correctly. Because what you'll see, what we do next is we're going to combine these two layers. Well, you hear the rain picking up? It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, so after that, we're going to connect these two layers. And then we're going to make the final letter, which will be stylistic set number 1, I guess. If the other one's the lowercase, if there's lowercase and there's capital. Something got darker. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Maybe it was a screensaver. Yeah, so just, you know, partial coloring. Whoops, got a little out of bounds there. Sorry. Oh, that's nice rain. I hope all the windows are closed. Tonight we are gonna clean the house. So I'm just kind of jetting through this. We had about, I got about probably half an hour left to work on this, but that shouldn't take me that long. I would like to be done in about 15 minutes so I can just go get started. Da, 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 da. I suppose this is more interesting if I was doing it live, but nothing new yet. And you can see some of these are going to need a little cleaning, but part of the speed of doing this is part of getting that, like, I don't know, more natural feel, if that makes sense. All right, so, whoops, I don't want a new one yet. I want the ramen brush back. And I'm just gonna clean, whoop! Clean up some of these connections there. That's fine. That's fine. Those are fine, fine, fine. This one's not touching. That was my chair squeaking, not a mouse. That was my computer making noise, not a chair. I was running an import on the website for work, and it took hours. So I think that's what that noise was, it telling me that it was done. Oh, I lost this one, so I'm just gonna trace it as close to the original as I can, which seems like it would be smarter to do it that way, but I found that sometimes when I don't do this like coloring and tracing over it with the selected area, that I lose something. Gets lost in the two versions. They look too different. So I think like one will be too thick in areas, or you know, stuff like that. All right, delete that layer. So I'm going to duplicate that layer, duplicate that layer. We'll go ahead and hide those two and mush these two together again. So what that did was gave us this layer, which is now kind of everything that we had just been messing with. Just kidding. What happened to that V? Did I draw it on? I did. All right. Let's turn that down a bit, just so I can draw this on the correct layer this time. All right, let's try that again. Much better. Now my nose is sniffling. I see I messed up part of the R there. Something's not closed in the leg of the R. We will invert this. And we're going to grab a big brush and just color it all. And then we're going to go and say, hey, R, what are you doing? I thought I closed all these up, but apparently not. Apparently I neglected the R. That was rather unkind of me. But now it's looking good. So this is my stylistic set. I will import this into the computer is the next thing that will get done. And once I get it put into the typeface as the new stylistic set, then, and only then, will I code my contextual alternates. And then we'll get some variation in here. So eyeball soup is coming along nicely. All right. And my phone battery is about to die. So no more phone camera. I will talk to you next week, perhaps. Bye.